So now we are hearing about Antardvip, the appearance place of Mahaprabhu, when, at the time of Krishna Lila, in his formed form, Lord Brahma stole the calves and the suckers of Sri Krishna. However, he prayed so much for forgiveness of his offense. Still, Krishna gave no response. When the son gets old and is full of his own understanding, then he does not respect the father. That Brahma, he took birth from the navel of Lord Narayan. Narayan is his father and his mother. But now he is the creator. Now he got some big position, and not only of the earth, but of the 14 planetary systems, he was like the master and the creator. He had all dominion over the 14 planetary systems. Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, like they are the three devas. When Vishnu's avatars come into this world, then Brahma thinks, how can I maintain my position if some great sadhus and devotees come, then the kings, the prime ministers and so forth, what do they think? Oh, there's no one so qualified as me in this world. I have so much power, I have so much mercy, I have everything. They become so full of false ego and pride. And they learn how to speak nicely, to do kirtan, katha, they can attract everyone. Then people think, what have I become now? In this way, false ego attacks them. So, because he was the master of the 14 planetary systems, so also he had 4 heads. Other people have 1 head, some people have 2 heads, but he has 4 heads. And he has so much intelligence. What do they say for 4-headed people? Not 1 head. 1 head is in childhood, 1 is youth, 1 is adulthood, and 1 is old age, or 1 is brahmacharya, vanaprastha, grahastha, and sannyas. And also the 4 ashrams, brahmacharya, Brahmin, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra. Also he had all the knowledge of the 4 Vedas, and so there's no one so knowledgeable and wise as him in the universe. And also all the incarnations of Vishnu, everyone has to come into his universe where he is like the controller and creator. So when the Lord comes and performs pastimes, Krishna and all his incarnations, there are countless incarnations of the Lord, so they all come into the universe of Brahma. So Brahma thinks, so now the person who people call the supreme controller, he saw this Krishna, he killed the demon Aghasura, and afterwards the light of the soul came out of his body and then entered the toenail of Krishna. So he thought, who is this boy? Is it true he is actually the Supreme Lord? So he wanted to test the Lord. Then he stole the calves and the suckers of Krishna, and then as an offense, as the result of that, then he had to suffer so much and be so disturbed. To take a test on your own father, that is the symptom of great pride in the son. This is like the play of Maya. So he was very perplexed. Now he did his mistake, and the Lord did not say anything, did not even speak with him. Then when Brahma came for forgiveness and he was bowing up and down, then the Sakya said, who is this 4-headed worm? Who is this strange new creature? Where did it come from? I've never seen an animal like this. We have nice calves, nice sakas and so forth. We have so many nice animals, but I've never seen such a strange animal like this 4-headed person. There are animals with 4 legs and insects with 10 legs or 20 legs, but I've never seen a 4-headed creature. So Krishna didn't say anything to him. So he did parikrama of Krishna and offered obeisance and then left. Then, however, when he went back to his abode, Brahmaloka, then the gatekeeper said, where are you going? I'm going to my own palace, my own house. Oh, who are you? How did you come? Where did you come from? I am 4-headed Brahma. the creator, the controller. You are Brahma? No, my Brahma is sitting there on his throne. Go and look. You are just a cheater, and you're only wearing the guise of Brahma. Leave here at once before we beat you or imprison you. If you don't go, then just see, oh, we will punish you so much. So Brahma, that person who has mistakes or makes offenses, they lose all power. So even Brahma generally is very powerful. He could very easily overpower the gatekeepers, but because of his offense, he became powerless and weak. So sometimes Brahma became filled with some pride. So one time Krishna, he called Brahma to come to Dwarka because he wanted to break his pride, and he saw that there were millions and millions of Brahmas with hundreds and millions of heads, and they were all offering obeisance to the Lord and taking his orders and leaving. There's not only one Brahma, there's a Brahma in each universe, and there are many larger universes than this one, and there Brahma has more heads. Some heads he has 10 heads, hundreds of heads, thousands of heads, or millions of heads. So when we become filled with false ego and pride, then we will have to struggle and suffer so much. So now he thought, how can I be free of this aparad? He thought, now Gaur Lila will soon begin, and Krishna is coming as Mahaprabhu. Now he is like the root of all incarnations, so if I get forgiveness from him and can serve him, then I can certainly be relieved of this. Therefore, I will worship Gaura Sundar. Gaur Lila is eternal. Sometimes it is manifest and sometimes unmanifest. So, before Gaur Lila manifests onto this earth planet, before the vision of the living entities, I will go and I will pray for the darshan of Gaur Sundar. And then I will pray to him for forgiveness. Please allow me to have some right qualification to serve or eligibility to serve in your pastimes. I've never served the devotees. That if the son of the father or the disciple of the guru does not serve, if the son does not serve the father or the disciple does not serve the guru, then what kind of son or disciple is he? So now he began doing austerity until he serves the Lord directly. Then you cannot develop mamata, possessiveness, and a sense of family, and sneha or affection will not develop, and you will not think he is mine and I am his. That person who does not do service, he does not develop mamata, and then they can never obtain anything in spiritual life. When you have mamata and sneha, love and affection and a sense of family, then naturally the Lord's mercy will come and shower upon you. Without affection or without mercy, you cannot achieve anything. Therefore, what did he do? He thought, now I became so proud in my high position as Brahma. So what should I do? I will come into a low caste family and I will show so much humility, and in this way, adopting humility, I will serve in Mahaprabhu's pastimes and I will appear before Mahaprabhu comes. So his name, that place's name is called Brahma-pura as well as Antardvip. Brahma came there, and on the bank of the Ganga, in a pure place, he began doing austerity. He was so absorbed in his austerity that the restless mind was made very peaceful. When you go to Navadvip-dham, automatically the consciousness will become fixed. You cannot be restless there if you are properly doing your sadhan. So he came to Mayapur and became absorbed in sadhan bhajan. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, if you do austerity for millions of lives in other places, you get the same benefit by doing this for 3 days Sadhan and Nam Sankirtan in Gaurmandal Navadvip Dham. You will receive the same result of millions of lives of austerities in other places. Therefore, such is the glory of Navadvip. If someone fixes their consciousness and does austerity in Navadvip, then Adiguru Brahma will protect and help one, and that person will certainly achieve perfection. Therefore, that Antardvip Yoga Pit is so special. Brahma came there and became absorbed in tapasya. By his worship, Gaur-Sundar gave him his audience, and when he gave him his darshan, then Brahma prayed to him, "When you appear directly here, please, I do not want to make offense like I did in Krishna Lila. I want to serve the devotees." Mahaprabhu then said, "Now go and take birth in a family of Javanas, and from there begin Harinam Sankirtan." If one appears in a high family, then Kunti Devi prays, "Janmaishwarya Shruta Shribir Edama Namadapuman Naivarhatya Vidatum Vaitvam Akinchana Gocharam." If one is very beautiful, if he has so much wealth, or if he is very learned, then there's no limit to that person's natural pride. It is very difficult to remain humble in such a position. Therefore, the Lord said, when Brahma prayed to him, so he said, "I have 3 desires. Through the medium of Harinam, I will give the living entities pure existence and mercy. So, Mahaprabhu then gave blessings and mercy, and therefore Brahma went in a very far place away in Bangladesh, in Gulam Gram village. There he took birth in a Yavan, or Muslim family. There he did not stay very long. He came to Brahma-pura, and from there he stayed in a jungle and began Harinam Sankirtan. However, he could not stay there either, because Maya Devi herself came, and Kali Maharaj also sent many of his soldiers, and he came himself, and would not give him any peace, was always disturbing him. In the 14 planetary systems of Lord Brahma, then that is Bahiranga Shakti or Maya Shakti's place. When he started doing Harinam, then when people start Harinam, Maya Devi will come and test or taunt or to try to sway one. But therefore, Brahma did not stay there very long. It is said, without satsanga, we have no life or no good intelligence. So he thought, I'm chanting alone. And then he left there and went to Pulia Shantipur, and he came into the presence of Advaita Prabhu and began Nam Kirtan there. And there in Kalna, There he was beaten in 22 markets by the Vatsa king. In front of everyone, he beat him in the marketplace. And all his flesh came off, only his bones were remaining. But he did not give up chanting Harinam. In this way, he showed the perfect example of faith and determination. Mahaprabhu said, chant Harinam and do not give up Harinam. So he followed Mahaprabhu's desire and instruction, and as a result, that offense he had made previously, it was all, he was freed of it all. That place became called Antardvip. Mahaprabhu's Antaranga mood, internal mood came, and Mahaprabhu manifested that there. Therefore it is called Antardvip. Mahaprabhu manifested its internal moods and desires. He said, I will come into this universe. So, in the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, Brahmaji became Namacharya Haridas Thakur. The name of this Antardvip is also Brahma-puram and Gopal-puram, as well as Yoga-pit and Mahayoga-pit. There, this is the middle of the 9 islands, and it is the appearance place of Mahaprabhu. It is also prominently known as Mayapur. Here, there in Mayapur, Mahamaya, it is not her place. Mahamaya has no adhikar there. That is Yogamaya's place. Mahamaya cannot enter that place. This place, when Brahma performed austerity there and Gaurhari gave him his darshan, he said, I will appear and come here. I will appear in this place. So Yogamaya Devi appeared there first, and in this way she made it her own. She established her own dominion there, and it became known as Mahayogapit. And she manifested the Lord's eternal pastimes there before the vision of the people of the world. So in Balal Digi, there was the palace there, not only of Bengal, there was Pancha Goda, 5 Godas, and so there was the palace of there, Balal Sen, he was the king of the Hindus, and in his dynasty, Lakshman Sena came, and that was in the time of Jayadev Kavi or Goswami. So, that place, in the present day, became Srinathpur and Ganganagar. They are all within that place. Jagannath Mishra Bhavan is within that district. So, Mahaprabhu's pastimes are eternal. They are always going on. When the Lord comes into this Yoga Mayapur or Antardvip Mayapur, then all his associates also come and take part in Mahaprabhu's pastimes. The Yoga pit in Mayapur, there's a big temple there. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj said, and by his instruction and by Bhaktivinoda Thakur's instruction and Radharaman Charan Das, Bhagavan Das Babaji Maharaj, Radhika Charan Das Babaji Maharaj, many great personalities, they all came, and they came with their disciples and grand disciples, and for months they did Sankirtan. And at the time of that Sankirtan, they started excavating the land for the temple. While they were excavating the land, a four-armed form of Adokshaj Vishnu appeared. This was before worshipped. His deity was before worshipped by Jagannath Mishra in his household. So this was one evidence that that place was the house of Jagannath Mishra. So then, by the desire of Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, the Didi again appeared, and then a huge temple and ashram was constructed there. Nilambar Chakravarti, the father of Sachimata, and the father of Jagannath Mishra was Sachimata was very chaste, and she always was serving her husband. She had 8 daughters, but all her daughters died in infancy. After that, Vishwarup was born, her first son. Vishwarup was very knowledgeable in Sastra, always absorbed in serving the sadhus and helping others, and detached from enjoyments. He was very beautiful. After that, Nimai was born. Baladev Prabhu appeared as Nityananda, and he was also Vishwarup, the elder brother of Nimai. He was born first, so he was non-different from Baladev as well as Nityananda. In his past life, Yashoda Mata, she had a desire. Krishna is my son, but I want Baladev to be my son as well. Kaushalya also had the mood, Ram is my son, but Lakshman should also be my son. So in Mahaprabhu's pastimes, Sachimata fulfilled this desire. In this way, Vishwarup was first born, he was Baladev, and then Nimai was born. He took sannyas. He stayed with her for some time, but soon he took sannyas and left. After, when Nimai, he also took sannyas and left home. So there was a need for preaching the Yuga Dharma Nam Sankirtan. Until the Nam Sankirtan was not preached, then there's no means of salvation for the jivas in Kali Yuga. Then the next reason was that Anarpita Chirimchira Unata Ujvala Svabhakti Shriyam, the pure love, the mood of the Brajabasis, the Brajadevis, and in Srimati Radhika's service, until that was distributed, then the jivas cannot give up their taste for material objects. They cannot give up their love and attachment to material things. They have no pure knowledge, pure Shakti of the Lord. They are very weak. So they are always playing and absorbed in material objects. In this way, their lives pass uselessly, and they create so much karma, bad karma, kukarma, vikarma, and so forth. And in this way, they wander throughout the universe in many species of life, suffering. If someone receives the mercy of the Lord, then why will they be attracted to insignificant material things? Why will they offer their love into these very low things? They are not worthy of the soul. Why will they go for objects that are not their own and which are also not valuable to the soul? By thievery, by trickery, one can obtain things that are not one's own property. But when one tries to enjoy those things, that is sinful. The jivas, they do not do other things wrong. Then where do sin and piety come from? Where does duskriti and sukriti come from? Pious merits and impious merits. Why? We come to this world and we take the objects which are the Lord's property, but without relation with the Lord or love for the Lord, we try to engage all those things around us and everything we try to acquire for our own enjoyment, and as a result of this, we suffer. And also we do not know how to be liberated of this bondage to karma. So when the living entities gain entrance into this Unata Ujvala Svabhakti Shriyam, pure love of Srimati Radhika in her service, then they can be liberated to these lower tastes. Therefore, this must be distributed. The third reason of Mahaprabhu's descent: those jivas who are in the filth of Maya and they're always bathing and showering in Maya ras, and they reject or act very wrongly with others. They think everyone is the objects of their enjoyment. And many irreligious persons cause so much disturbance in the world. They will not let anyone live peacefully. If someone is living peacefully, what is your problem? But they say, why are you happy? Why are you living peacefully? Why aren't you serving me? They will not give anyone peace. So Advaita-acharya Mahavishnu came and he thought, I will help everyone. But how can you help? No one wanted to hear his advice. Instead, they became against him and they were trying to fight with him. They were ready to fight him. So this is the nature of the jivas. They are very fierce and without spiritual intelligence. Therefore, they only want to follow their own ideas. They are very stubborn. They want to show their own prominence, like monkeys. If you look at them in the face, they open their mouth and bar their teeth at you and growl. And then if you try to fight with them, then they puff themselves up and growl more and like show, oh, you don't know who I am? Look at me. And if you turn around to run, they will jump at you and attack you and try to bite you. And they will also collect many other monkeys to fight you. If you try to kill the monkeys, then they will bring hundreds of other monkeys, their grandsons, their granddaughters, their relatives. Hundreds and thousands of monkeys will come to attack you. So this is the nature of the jivas. Like 10, 20 dogs are like that as well. They will all run behind you, bite your heels, bark at you. If there's a big elephant coming through that area that is like dogs' area, then hundreds of dogs will come behind the elephant barking at it. And they will all come together trying to bark and attack the elephant. But what is the problem for the elephant? What is the value of barking? It doesn't change anything. So the jiva's nature in Kali Yuga is like this. They make different policies and they only try to control others and make others submit to them. So Advaita-acharya saw the condition of the jivas. He thought, I can change them. But then he realized it was not possible. They were very foolish. They did not want to understand anything. And they have no pure intelligence. So then how could they change? So Advaita-acharya, he began to worship the Supreme Lord himself and said, Prabhu, please come. Please give Shakti to the jivas. Give them Prema Bhakti. When they get Shakti from you, they will understand. When a foolish person, they have no intelligence, no matter how much you try to tell them, they cannot understand or change. If you put them in jail, they still not change. They say, oh, I will never change. They are they are foolish, they have no intelligence, no spiritual strength or anything. So Advaita-acharya prayed to Bhagavan when the fourth reason is, so the Lord appeared by the prayer of Advaita-acharya. So Krishna had three desires. He wanted to understand the glory of Radharani's love and the love she had for him. What is the nature of that love? I cannot understand that, Krishna thought. If someone loves me, then what is the nature of that love? And why do they love me? I want to understand that. The second reason of the fourth reason said, my form, it is so attractive. The whole universe and all the living entities are attracted by that. I am darkish, Sham Sundar. I do not know why everyone is so attracted to me. I cannot understand my own sweetness. So I want to understand that sweetness in me that Srimati Radhika and the Brajadevis relish. Then, by my sweetness, what happiness do others receive? Why are they so attracted to me? I want to understand these three things. This is the internal reasons. There are three parts of this internal reason. So he said, when I come myself in the form of a devotee, then I can understand this. People come and they give me so much love, they serve me, they worship me, they offer so many things, but I do not know. Therefore I want to understand this, and I will therefore come. So Mahaprabhu appeared on the 30th of Falgun, 23rd of Falgun, in the 1486, in the Western calendar, on the day of the full moon. He appeared in the evening time. Hundreds of thousands of people were chanting the names of Hari, and they were going to bathe in the Ganga because it was an eclipse at that time. When there is an eclipse, at that time, if you go to Hari's temple or the Lord's Dham, or you take shelter of the Gita or Bhagavatam or the Lord's mantras or Nam Sankirtan, or you don't take shelter of these things or of Ganga Jamuna, then Rahu and Ketu, like demons and dacoits and thieves come, they come and steal everything. So in our life, those good qualities we possess, good impressions, sukriti, pious merits, and punya, our lifespan, our fame, meaning like all these good qualities are stolen away by the evil influences. Like when a pure king is not present, then so many thieves and dacoits will cause so much distress to the subjects, and they will steal everything if there's no proper like Kshatriya presence. So at the time of the eclipse, all the residents of that area went to the Ganga to take bath, and they were all chanting the names of Lord Hari. So at the time of the eclipse, people perform yagyas, dan, tapa, vrat, and so forth, and then they are protected. Otherwise, Rahu and Ketu are very powerful, and they have many soldiers and associates with bad influences, and they will come and they will try to take over everything. So if one does not take shelter of the feet of the Lord, they will look, that person is my subject, I can control him if they are not at the Lord's feet, and I will destroy their good tendencies. Like if one is attacked by a ghost, and in this way possessed by a ghost, then they may do so many crazy things. So while at the time of the eclipse we should always be absorbed in mantra, nam, taking shelter of the holy rivers or the granthas or the Lord's temple and so forth, without that, then Rahu and Ketu will overpower us and we will not be saved. All our good intelligence, if we have any, will be destroyed, and we will be filled with demonic tendencies and qualities. Therefore, Krishna arranged a way for everyone to be saved, and when Krishna in his pastimes, he called everyone to Kurukshetra. He called all the different sages and all the kings and rulers and all the Brijbasis as well. He said, we will all together perform sadhan during that time of the eclipse. Otherwise, it is very dangerous. It is like Mahakal, the very form of death, devouring everyone. That time is very evil or wicked. You may be staying very nicely doing bhajan and sadhan, but at the time of the eclipse, if you don't take shelter of Nam and mantra and you remain independent, then Rahu and Ketu will come and devour you, and they will fill you up entirely with demonic tendencies and will steal away all your good qualities. Then they will be very powerful and will influence you like this. So at the time of the moon eclipse in the evening, everyone, knowing the proper custom to be observed during an eclipse, while doing Harinam Kirtan, everyone there in that area in Bengal, Navadvip, went to the Ganga while chanting Hari's names in loud Sankirtan. This way, the whole sky and land was filled with the sounds of Kirtan. At that time, Mahaprabhu appeared from the womb of Sachi Devi. And while everyone was doing Harinam Sankirtan, without any invitation or anything, everyone would go to the house of Jagannath Mishra with gifts. No one went to invite them or give welcoming cards or anything, but Mahaprabhu has Sankarshan Shakti, attractive potency. Now also, on Mahaprabhu's appearance day, Gaura, no one invites anyone, but hundreds of thousands of people come to Mahaprabhu's dham and to his appearance place, and there they are present and take the dust of the Lord. There's a huge congregation there. So the Lord appeared at the base of a neem tree, therefore his name was given Nimai. Sachimata said, "My 8 daughters all perished. Now the son, he took birth at the base of a neem, so I will give him the name Nimai. Neem is very bitter, so no wicked spirits or anything will want to come to him, because he will be very bitter." So people came and said, "Oh, he is not Nimai, he is not bitter, he is Gaur. He is very golden and effulgent and beautiful, he is not bitter and neem, like neem." So they naturally were calling him Gaur. Everyone who went to bathe in the Ganga, after bathing in the Ganga, they were doing kirtan, and they all reached Mahaprabhu's house. And there they started dancing and singing while chanting. Someone was playing instruments, someone was like professional dancer. Everyone, with all their different skills, they were absorbed in the Lord's service through Sankirtan. So Adiguru Brahma, by the order of Mahaprabhu, he first came and took birth in a Yavana family. Advaita Prabhu, he began to shout and roar and dance ecstatically. When he began doing Harinam Sankirtan and Mahaprabhu appeared, everyone's hearts became filled with transcendental bliss, Ananda Ras. Gangi Devi herself was also very blissful. When Mahaprabhu came, however, he was so restless. When he was a small boy, he was so restless. There's no limit to his restlessness. To attract everyone and to make everyone's consciousness absorbed in him, Nityananda Prabhu appeared, and he was very simple and sweet and not so naughty. And he manifested all Lila pastimes by Lila Shakti. But how was Mahaprabhu? Oh, he was very chanchal, very restless and naughty. When a snake came into his courtyard, he went and embraced the snake and started playing with the snake. And the snake wrapped around him and then put the cobra, it was a cobra, and he put its hood above the Lord like an umbrella, and he was sitting there as a baby boy like a king. And he had no disturbance, even though it was a very poisonous cobra. Why? This is Anantashesh. He came for the darshan of the Lord. So when he came, the Lord gave him some service, and he sat on him, and Anantashesh gave him the shade of his hoods. And Mahaprabhu, Gaurhari, embraced him around the neck. And the snake began to move, and Mahaprabhu began to ride him. And they had so much friendship. Mahaprabhu, as a baby boy, he embraced his neck, the snake's neck, and the snake began to move around. That Shiv has also relation with snakes, that he's always wearing snakes. But Mahaprabhu, one time, he was sleeping, and sometimes he is sleeping on the snake, sometimes he is embracing the snake and moving around, sometimes he gives his hand on the snake's head. Before, he gave his foot dust to Kaliya, but this is Anantadev, not Kaliya, so he gave his hand on Anantadev and gave his blessings in this way. And with a great happiness, this Anantashesh, with his tongue out, very happily, he began to give everyone darshan. But people were afraid, he will let him not bite this baby Nimai. Mahaprabhu is very beautiful and soft-limbed. Why? What do the snakes do? They, with their coils, they will wrap around something, and in this way they bind it, and then they stretch it and make it thin, and then gradually they swallow it. They take even big elephants, and huge pythons can eat them in this way. They break the bones and then stretch them out and make them very thin and then swallow them all. And the snake becomes bigger and bigger when it eats things, like it grabs a mouse or a bird. We don't see so many big snakes like that, but they catch meerkats and squirrels and things like that. They eat them, then their mouth gets very big, and then They swallow it, first they squeeze it, and then they make it thin and long, and then they eat it. And then the snakes become bigger. They have a big bulge in their belly. So then people began to praise Garuda and call out to Garuda to protect their boy. When Ram and Lakshman were bound by the serpent weapon of Indrajit, then Lakshman, someone said, "Oh, go quickly call Garuda, otherwise the Nagpas, the snake weapon, they will not be freed of this weapon." So when Garuda came, then in fear of Garudaji, all the snakes departed at once. The snakes are all afraid of Garuda, so they ran away. Then Garuda had some moha come. "Oh, if he is my Lord, my Bhagavan, my Prabhu, then how could a snake bind the Lord? This Ram, he cannot be my Lord." Then when he had a doubt, when people have doubt, what happens? Then they become very disturbed, and their mind becomes very restless, and nowhere can they find peace. They think, where can I solve this? So in this way he went to Brahmaji. "Oh, this Ram and Lakshman that were bound by serpents, when I came, the snakes fled. Then how could the snakes bind my Lord?" First he asked Shiv. Then Shiv said, "Don't ask me. Don't say these things to me. I don't want to hear them. I never will speak any or hear any criticism of the Lord. Leave at once." So then Garudaji, Shivji forsook him, thinking he is Asatsanga. When people have doubt like this, you should give them pranam, but try not to associate so much. It can be very dangerous. So then Guruji went to Brahma, and he asked him, "Oh, Ram and Lakshman, are they the incarnations of the Lord? Who is this Dasarathi Ram, the son of Dasarath?" "Why are you asking?" Brahma said. "You are the Lord's servant. Should you not know who the Lord is?" "If he is my Lord, then," Garuda said, "when I came, the snakes fled. But before they were bound by the snakes, how could my Lord be bound by snakes? They were fallen unconscious, like on the brink of death. So how could he be my Lord?" Brahma then said, "Okay, go to Kakbusandi, his assembly. Kakbusandi, the crow devotee of the Lord, he will show you everything. Garuda is the king of the birds. He is a beautiful golden eagle, and the king. And Kakbusandi is a crow. He is like the lowest species of the birds. He is considered the crows are considered sudras of birds. The crows are considered like black sudras of the birds." So then he thought, what can I do? How can I go to the Sudra assembly of the Kakbusandi? So he was thinking, what should I do? But still, because he was feeling so much restlessness from his doubt, he thought, okay, let us try. So when he went, Kakbusandi was giving Harigita to hundreds and thousands of birds, that they were assembled there in all directions. They were having Harigita amongst the birds. That Kakbusandi, there's an Akshay Vat, so under one branch he would do austerity, and he would go to another branch, and there he would sleep. On one, he would go and do meditation. In one, he would speak Harikatha under one tree. There were so many birds. It said, a crow knows a crow's speech, or a bird knows a bird's speech. So he said, you will only understand from someone of your own race or your own type. You won't understand from me. So he said, go to the birds, and he will help you. So thousands and hundreds of thousands of birds were sitting peacefully listening to Harikatha from Kakbusandi. So Garuda sat, everyone was very astonished. Oh, Garuda came. And they all gave him a prominent seat. And he sat down and heard Harikatha for a long time. So then finally at the end of Harikatha, he said, oh, Kakbusandi, I have a question. This Dasarathi Ram, is he God? Is he Bhagavan? And who is this Lakshman? Then Kakbusandi said, look, in the past life, I had some misfortune as well, like you. I had some doubt, like you. On the day of Shivratri, everyone does worship of Shiva on Shivratri. So I was a hunter, Sudra, and I also did Shivji Vrat. In the evening I was so hungry. Why? I fasted on Shivratri thinking I will get more power and I will be able to kill more people. So I was worshipping Shiva thinking I will be a better murderer and hunter. But I was so hungry at the evening, so I thought, oh, I have to do some worship of Shiv before I eat. So I found a Brahmin priest who was in the forest. I was walking along the forest and I found some sadhu priest who was a Ramanuja Sampradaya. And I told him, oh sadhu, come here. Now it is evening time. Worship Shiva. I was bringing datura flower and the special flowers that we use for Shiva. And now do my worship. I don't know how to do it, and I am not a Brahmin, I cannot. But he was a Ramanuja sadhu. They have a vow they will never worship Shiva. So he said, I will not worship. I will not do it. He said, if you don't do the Shiva puja, then I will kill you. Either you will die by my hand or you will do puja. You have to choose one or the other. So he said, look, I have my sword and I have my bow. I'm ready to kill you. So the sadhu thought, okay, let us see what we can do. So he took the paraphernalia, the datura, the bell leaves and the bell fruit. But what mantra was he saying? He was whispering the mantra. Only like Ram mantra. So he was using these Ram mantras. Then said, oh, say Namo Shivaya. No, I won't say Namo Shivaya. This is Shiv Puja. Worshipping Ram, this is Shiv Puja. He said, oh, if you don't do it properly, I will kill you right now. Then he took up his sword and he prepared. He said, I will kill you right now. So then what happened? As he was about to attack the sadhu, the Shiv Linga broke open and the Lord Shiva appeared. He said, he is taking the name of my master, my Lord, and he's giving the Charnamrita of my Lord. And that is my worship. He was correct. He said, this is worship of Shiva. If you want to please me, then this is my service. To serve someone or worship someone means to please them. So there's no way for me to be more happy than to receive the Charnamrita of the Lord and to hear his names. So now you should go, and for millions of lifetimes you will suffer. You will be born and immediately die. So then the sadhu, the hunter, grabbed the feet of the sadhu the sadhu grabbed the feet of Shiva and said, please do not give him such a punishment. He is foolish and ignorant. He doesn't know. He cannot control himself. You should not give such a harsh punishment. So Shiva said, what can I do? Then make it lessen it. He said, I will not lessen it. I cannot take back my word. I told him he will be born and die millions of times, in great agony. So then the sadhu said, okay, arrange that all his millions of lifetimes of being born and die go in one day. Look, the sadhu's hearts are soft like butter. Look how much love they have. So by the sadhu's prayer, in one day, he took thousands and thousands of births, like an insect or bacteria, taking birth, dying, thousands of times. And then the next day, he took birth in a Brahmin family. Why? He was trying to kill the Brahmin, and he was thinking of the Brahmin. So this sadhu was a Brahmin. In this way, he took birth in a Brahmin family. Then what did he do? Then he went to Lomash Rishi, the sage, and said, give me a Ram mantra. Then he said, oh, I am Brahma, you are Brahma, everything is Brahma. Why are you asking for Ram mantra? Don't you know you are God, I am God, I am Ram? Then he said, leave me. You are only... I am Brahma, you are Brahma, everything is Brahma. Chant Aham Brahmasmi. He said, no, I don't want to become Brahma, I want to become the servant of Ram. But he would not listen. And the sage again and again sent him out. So then he cursed him to become a crow. He said, oh, you are only ka, telling me again and again, so become a crow. So then the Brahmin became a crow and was flying in the air. And then he still did not become disturbed or anything. So then the sadhu said, okay, now I will give you the mantra. So he gave him the Ram mantra. And then he said, okay, now I will make you a beautiful Brahmin again. He said, no, I don't want to be a Brahmin. This form is the form I received your mercy in. So please, I want to remain in this crow form, but please give me only the blessing that I will always remember Lord Ram. I will always chant his names. I will always serve Lord Ram. So he said, he blessed him, when that Dasarathi Ram appears in Treta Yuga, you will have his darshan and serve him. So this occurred, and Kaushalya, his mother, decorated Ram very beautifully as a little boy, and he was playing out. Like Krishna, he eats makan mishri, sugar candy and butter. But Ram, he likes malpua so much and kheer. So his mother gave him some of this and he was playing around eating it. But Pusandi at that time went for darshan of Lord Ram. And Ram, he was eating some malpua and he gave him some. Why? My bhakta came, so he wanted to give his bhakta prasad. So the crow, Kakapusandi, was eating it. But then what happened in his mind? He saw there was a big malpua in Ram's hand. He said, I want to take the whole malpua. I don't want a little piece. So he flew up and grabbed the Malpua very quickly from Ram's hand and started flying away. But then he saw Ram's hand coming behind him, and wherever he was going, he saw the hand of Ram right behind him. So he flew throughout the whole three worlds, heaven, hell, earth, and everywhere he saw Ram. And then he came back finally, and then he entered like within the mouth of Ram. And he saw the whole universe was like Ram was present in the whole universe. He saw the whole universe was present within like the stomach of Ram. So in this way, then he became very perplexed, and he came out again, and then Ram gave him his full darshan and mercy. So Kakbhushandi said, then, O Garuda, now I understood, by that I understood the glory of Lord Ram and his position, his Bhagavata, his godliness. So in this way, Garuda also was free of his doubt. So it said, we should never have doubt in the Lord. By doing so, then Maya will grasp us. When we become very proud, then we become the servant of Maya. Then we go far away from the service of the Lord. So, if it is said, if Mahaprabhu in this way, he would play with the snakes. And at that time, his family members all prayed to Gurudaji. Then Anantadev said, oh, I only came for the Lord's darshan. Now he said to Gaur, oh, they are trying to chase me away. They are thinking, how can they chase me away? So he began to weep and pray to Gaur. However, Mahaprabhu is playing and very absorbed in his play. So later, when his family members saw that the snake was not leaving, so they began Nam Kirtan. And when they started Nam Kirtan, hearing Nam Kirtan, Anantadev disappeared from that place. So Mahaprabhu in this way performed many pastimes, and in this way he attracted everyone's hearts. When the snake left, then everyone came on all four sides and grabbed the Lord with love and looked, oh, did the snake bite you? You were sleeping with the snake, playing with the snake, embracing the snake. So they searched the body of the Lord for any bite. And then they thought, oh, Shiv Thakur has protected him. Someone thought, oh, Garudaji protected him because we prayed to him. Someone said, no, Nrsingadev Bhagavan protected him. Someone said, oh, no, we all together did Harinam Sankirtan. The Harinam protected him. If anyone does Harinam, then they will be free of all problems. So all together they began chanting Harinam, and then Mahaprabhu began dancing as a little boy. Seeing this, everyone was very happy. It is said in Jagannath Mishra Bhavan, when everyone would come there to give gifts to Mahaprabhu, someone gave him golden bracelets, golden earrings, beautiful waist belts, or bangles, anklets. In this way, his whole body was covered with beautiful ornaments. On one hand, he is already so beautiful, immeasurably beautiful, and he was decorated so nicely. When he began dancing, in this way, everyone became fully bewildered in his beauty. Then two thieves came. They were very tall and strong and long. In their last lives, they were thieves as well. Why? Thieves, they do not change quickly. They get the habit of thieving. It's very difficult to give up that habit. Wherever you go, you will try to steal things. Then, if your habit is bad like that, you cannot give it up. Our Maharaj would say, Gurudev would say, look, when we were with Gurudev, one boy came from Calcutta. He was very beautiful, tall, and he had good qualities. So, then Gurudev said, if you want to understand someone's nature, you have to give some time. Parami Gurudev said like that. Everyone was saying, oh, give him Diksha, become the Pujari. Look how nice he is. He's given up family. He's such a beautiful man. You should give him everything. But Parami Gurudev said, just wait. You'll understand people's nature after some time, not at once. So anyhow, they again and again asked him, and he gave him Diksha. Then he said, oh, Gurudev, I want to be the Pujari. Please give me the chance to serve Thakurji. I want to serve. I will offer the Lord Bhoga. I will do Arti. I will give him water. I will do all the service. Please, I just want to be the Pujari. And he said, okay, anyhow, become the Pujari. So he became the Pujari very quickly. He would do Mangal Arti, then he would do 5 artis a day, he would do Bhoga, he would do Shringar, and he was trying to please everyone in this way. Everyone became so happy. Then on Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima, in this way, on these big festival days, then people offer so many special ornaments. They wear so many beautiful ornaments, and this way the deity is decorated so nicely. So on this day, in the morning, like when it was the Janmashtami festival was going on, then the next morning they saw, he would wake every morning at 3:30 to 4. They would do some stuti, and first he would go to Gurudev, and then we would arrange the Mangal Arti, and it's considered by 4:30 it is already morning time. So they saw no one is opening the temple today, no one is doing Mangal Arti. Everyone said, where's the pujari, where's the pujari? He was such a nice pujari. Everyone was so attractive, he would speak so sweetly, he was so learned, and he would always serve Gurudev with so much humility. He would serve everyone, he had so much renunciation. Everyone loved him so much, but they couldn't find him anywhere. Then everyone was very sad, thinking, maybe he was lost, maybe he got sick. They couldn't find him. They thought, alas, alas, what happened to the pujari? Then after a few days, what happened? After 5-6 days, a letter came. He said, for 6 days I worked for you. I was a servant in your temple. And I thought, on the big festivals, so many gold and ornaments and jewels and diamonds and expensive jewels will come. So I took all the jewels, and then I came and I saw it is only tin, gold-plated tin, and it is not a diamond, it is only plastic or glass. All the jewels are just plastic and glass and tin. So I thought if I worked for those 6 months, I would have gotten so much money. But now I worked in your temple and I didn't get anything. So you wasted so much time, you should give me something. So these two thieves, in their last lives, they were also thieves. So they thought, when everyone is absorbed in meditation, doing smaran, I will go and steal everything. So there's another story, that one sadhu, he was giving, like a panda, he was giving Bhagavatam Katha, and they thought, why? He thought, in the big Bhagavat Saptas, so many wealthy people come and they wear so many nice necklaces, rings, and they also offer many things to the panda. So a thief came, and he came right in front, sitting in front, and he thought, when other people are absorbed, like so much absorbed in Harikatha, they forget everything else, then it will steal all their rings and necklaces and so forth. But then this thief, he was sitting there and he began crying, and the panda asked him, why are you crying afterwards? He said, like, he understood his nature, so he said, why are you crying so much? You were not crying in other days. Then he said, you are speaking about this beautiful boy who dresses very nicely, has so many golden ornaments. Tell me where his house is. I want to know where that boy's house is. That boy, he stays in Nandagram. And every morning he goes out. And he leaves like 3 in the morning, and he has a beautiful golden crown, diamond necklaces, and he's covered in immeasurable wealth. He is so beautifully decorated, and every morning he goes very early out to steal butter. He's a very famous thief in Braj. And then the thief asked, how can I make him happy? You just give him a piece of like sweet or some butter. He will come in your arms and embrace you. So he said, okay, I will go. So he gave pranam to the Pandit who was giving Bhagavad Gita, and he went to Nandagram, and all night he was sitting out waiting. When will this boy come out? He said at 3 in the morning he'll come. So at 3 in the morning he saw the gate opened, and a very beautiful boy came out, decorated in like countless jewels and ornaments. So he went to give him some sweet makhan mishra, but as he was going towards the Lord would go farther and farther back. In this way he started running towards the boy. In this way he ran and ran and ran, and then fell senseless. So in Mahaprabhu's pastimes, again, these thieves came and took birth. And seeing the ornaments of Mahaprabhu, then they were very greedy and thought, I want to steal this from him. So the two thieves, seeing Mahaprabhu, they said, let's give him, like, there's a very famous banana called the Martaman banana, and it's very sweet. And then they brought Sandesh, and they gave him to Nimai, and then picked him up on their shoulders, and then started walking. They said, there are so many people here, we will go and steal all his ornaments in the lonely place in the jungle, and then we will leave him. So Mahaprabhu sat on their shoulders. Another person said, no, sit on my shoulder. And in this way they were trying to share the Lord, and they were saying, I will take his bangles, I will take his anklet, I will take his necklace, I will take his crown. In this way they were arguing, oh, I will take the crown, I will take the kostuba, and so forth. And this way they were running very quickly, looking for some quiet, lonely place. However, they saw people everywhere, and everyone was like doing kirtan and so forth, playing, and so they thought, we cannot steal from him there or there or there. This way they went all over the dam, and then in the house of Nimai, everyone was saying, oh, where's Nimai gone? They could not find him. They went to the Ganga, they went everywhere, but they could not find him anywhere. They thought, oh, perhaps he has been lost somewhere. They were very worried. In this way they were like mad and in an anxiety. Then what happened? Oh, then they saw two men were coming with Nimai on their shoulders. They saw, oh, these two people came. Then in this way they returned, and they were very afraid, thinking they would be caught, so they put Nimai down and fled. So then they picked up Nimai and they said, oh, where did you go? They said, oh, they came and gave me some sandal, some bananas and sandesh. And they were like my good friends. They took me on tour all over Navadvip. So, in this way, after that, they could not forget Mahaprabhu. Then by the touch of Mahaprabhu's feet, their tendency of thieving was lost for all time. And now, they lost all wicked tendencies. Sometime on the day of Ekadashi, in the devotee's house, the Lord, they offer bhoga to the Lord on Ekadashi. Some people say, oh, it is Ekadashi, so Thakurji will also eat like Ekadashi, but this is not proper. The real devotees will not do like this. They are fasting, but the Lord is not fasting. They will offer the falahar things they can take, but they will also offer nice things like rice, many preparations, dal, sabjis, puris, and so forth. So Hiranya and Jagadish, they would always follow Ekadashi very nicely and make 56 items for the Lord. So on the day of Ekadashi, Nimai began to cry. Before, when people would chant Harinam, he would stop crying. But today, he was crying so much, and he would not stop even by Sankirtan. So then, when they came, Jagannath Mishra came, then Mahaprabhu said, oh, Hiranya and Jagadish, they're having a festival on Ekadashi. They're following the Harivasar festival, and they've made so much nice bhoga. Please bring me all that bhoga, otherwise I will not stop crying. The Lord says, that person who does Ekadashi Vrat, I will come to their place, I will appear before them. So, therefore, the devotees always offer nice things to the Lord, because he is appearing wherever the devotees follow Ekadashi. So, there was a very nice kirtan going on with many devotees, and they were offering 56 nice items for the Lord. So, Mahaprabhu said, please bring me those things, otherwise I will not stop crying. So, it was 30 or 40 kilometers away. But Jagannath Mishra went with his friends, and he said, Hiranya and Jagadish, like this, and they brought everything on their heads, all the devotees brought everything. They said, this son, within him Narayan is present. We thought, oh, the Lord will come and accept everything from us, certainly. So now the Lord has appeared and is directly accepting everything. In this way, they gave everything to Mahaprabhu, and he ate something of everything. And in this way, he was very happy. So this Mahaprabhu, later on, what did he say? Mother, now I am begging something from you. What do you want, Nimai? Then Mahaprabhu said to Sachi, everything is yours. What is the question of giving anything? Then he said, oh mother, do not eat rice on Ekadashi. Do not take any grains. Will you do that? Yes, what is the problem? I won't eat. I will follow Ekadashi Vrat. Mahaprabhu, in this way, he established the proper observance of Ekadashi. And everywhere, all the bhaktas were absorbed in following Ekadashi, worshipping Tulsi, worshipping Ganga, and so forth. In this way, Ekadashi's glories were preached everywhere by Mahaprabhu's desire. So he showed the importance of both sides, how the devotees can observe Ekadashi properly. If you do not do Harinam, then Mahaprabhu would start weeping. In this way, Mahaprabhu performed his pastimes as a child. When he would go to school, then immediately when he go to school, he would not stay in school. Instead, he would take all the boys and go and play in the Ganga. And he would not study so much. He didn't like study when he was a boy. He said, oh, this is all not necessary. Then he would go with all the boys to the Ganga. And the Ganga was very wide and had a very powerful current. But then there's 2-3 ghats, and he would go and disturb everyone at the ghats. This was his daily habit. If someone was the men would bathe in one place and the women in another place, he would take the men's cloth and put them in the women's cloth, and the women's cloth and give them to the men's cloth. And if someone was standing in the water doing mantras, he would go into the water and pull their feet out. And if someone was chanting mantras, he would put water in his mouth and then come up in the water, out of the water, and spit in their face. He would climb on someone's shoulders. If a lady was bathing, he would grab her braid and pull her into the water. This way, everyone was so disturbed. No one could be absorbed in meditation or in Bhagavan or anything in their house or anything. They were only thinking Nimai, Nimai, Nimai. Without any sadhana, Nimai entered everyone's hearts. And everyone thought, oh, this Nimai is such a naughty boy. Then they went and complained to Jagannath Mishra. And the ladies went to complain to Sachi, and the men went to complain to Jagannath Mishra. They said, your boy, he's so naughty. Jagannath Mishra said, okay. They said, Panditji, you are such an exalted Brahmin, but your son, he doesn't go to school. And all day he's playing in the water, 5 or 6 hours. You don't think he'll become sick? He's not a fish. And he's also so restless. So Jagannath Mishra took a stick and he said, when I catch him, I will beat him so much. Then he will change. So then they got the stick and said, don't beat him, don't beat him. He's just a little boy. You shouldn't beat a little boy. You are such a learned Brahmin. You will beat a boy? Then what can I do? I have to discipline him? No. Don't discipline him. Don't beat him. Just please tell him, don't be so bad. You can chastise him a bit and tell him, just look after him a bit. So on one side, they're complaining. On the other side, they don't want Mahaprabhu to have any harm. They could not tolerate this. Why? Oh, Mahaprabhu had already conquered their hearts. He had already stolen their hearts. So then the girls came to Vishnu Sachi. They said, you have such a little boy. He's just a little boy, but what does he do? He comes to us. We go with things to worship the Ganga, and we do our worship there. We sit on our asan. Then he sits in our asan, and he eats all the offerings, the sendesh, the batasa, the bananas, and he takes. And then we say, oh, why do you take our objects of worship? Why do you wear the garland we used to worship? He said, look, I am Vishnu, and you worship me, offer everything to me, then you will get welfare. If you don't worship me and give me nice food, then I will curse you. And what will my curse? You will have 100 co-wives. And you will have a really ugly old husband. Ugly, old, cruel husband. And you'll always be suffering. Otherwise, you have to feed me, offer me, and marry me. You have to marry me and worship me. So they all told this to Sachi. She was on one hand laughing and one side sad and crying. But no matter how much they would complain, when they would see Nimai face to face, they forgot everything and they would just sit there looking at him and not able to say anything. So Sachi Mata would say, she said to Nimai, why are you disturbing everyone at the Ganga? Then he said, oh look, I'm not wet, I'm wearing dry clothes, I'm just back from school. He had his pencil, his slate. He said, oh, they're saying I was making so much mischief. Look, I'm just back from school. Oh, those who are complaining on me, then I will show them. Oh, they think I'm naughty and restless. Now I will show them how naughty and restless I can be. So also, when Jagannath Mishra would go to chastise him, he would go out to the Ganga to find him, but Nimai would take a different pathway and be back at home. And when Jagannath Mishra returned, he was deeply absorbed in study. And he would say, oh, why are you causing so much mischief? He said, I've been here studying all along. I've been at school all day. You are lying. You're calling me a liar? He would say. Then is everyone lying and cheating me? I don't know. Nimai said. So everyone would go to the Ganga. But who are they thinking of? Are they thinking of the Lord? No. Instead, they're only thinking of Maya and how to enjoy. So Mahaprabhu, very intelligently, he took everyone's absorption in Maya away and attracted them to himself. When you go to the Ganga, you take all your sin and you leave it at the bank. and then you bathe in the Ganga, and then you go back and burn all your sin again and leave. Instead of bathing and losing all your sin, you take your sin off first, and then bathe, and then put it back on and leave. So he thought, okay, anyhow I want to free you of this. So in this way, in his childhood, there was no one who he did not disturb. When Vishwarup took sannyas, however, then he became very grave and peaceful, and then he would not disturb anyone. Then he went to the school of Gangadas Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit and Swarup Damodar were his boyhood friends, and altogether they would very peacefully study. Why? Now his elder brother was not there. Now his mother was very sad. Her son became a sannyasi. And so Mahaprabhu said, okay, I am yours, I am here, I am your son still. So the elder brother, he took sannyas, but it is good, no problem. So then Vishwarup gave a sannyas book to Nimai when he left. Then Sachimata saw the book and she thought, this book is only about sannyas. And she was very disturbed. This is only sannyas dharma. So she took Mahaprabhu's book that his brother gave him, and she hid it. And then she said, oh, let's not let Nimai do any studies. She convinced Jagannath Mishra that let Nimai not go to school. One day, some days later, Nimai said, I saw my brother, and he told me in his dream, oh, I left a book for you with my... Then what happened? Mahaprabhu said. Sachimata showed shock. Oh, what happened? Then Vishwarup, Sachimata hid his book, so he was upset. He thought, how can I get back at my mother somehow? So he told her this dream that, oh, he told me, where's that book? And then he said, oh, as I took sannyas, you will also take sannyas. So then Sachi became very sad. Then she said, oh, why will you take sannyas? He said, oh, sannyas is good. Then who will look after me? Your father has gone and your brother has gone. Who will look after you? All will also leave me. He said, mother, everyone who comes in this world has to leave. But if we take sannyas when we are here, then our life can be successful, and I will preach bhakti everywhere. So his mother, he sat down and began to give Harikatha like Kapila Dev gave to Devahuti. So in this way, also on the day of sannyas, he woke early, he got up early and did pranam and parikrama of Sachimata, and then left and took sannyas. So now we will stop here. Hari Bol.